they're like they're like big dogs. It's really something special when your animals can trust you like this. Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another beautiful day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I got the cows back here behind me. Shh, everybody be real quiet. We're gonna be moving the cows here in just a second. And we're just gonna kind of be buzzing around the farm, just knocking a few little tasks out. I heard something go bump in the night. We had a big storm last night, and I hope we didn't lose a pine tree on top of the fence, but I think we lost a big poplar tree down here, and I think the top of it just barely skimmed the fence. It's funny, I just put the cows in this pasture yesterday, and a big storm comes in and knocks a tree down on the fence, and no tree has ever fallen on that fence before. So come along as we have a little bit of fun. We'll talk about the intensive grazing, we'll talk about why we're moving the cows, where we're moving the cows to, and in the future we're gonna be running our cows through our handling equipment. So we'll walk through that real quick, and we'll just get some general stuff done here on the farm. Something went bump in the night.
Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge, Stoney Ridge Farm. Woo!
Guys, if you follow the YouTube channel, if you follow the farm, this is our Honda Foreman 500 ATV. We're gonna fire her up and we're gonna run up here to Big T, our TYM T1104 tractor. It's hooked to the water trailer, and I've had the solar well pump pumping the water trailer full for, I guess, probably about 3 hours. It's a 1,000-gallon water trailer. Let's ride on up there. So I'm not going to ride the four-wheeler all the way up there because I just have to go back and get the four-wheeler again. But we've got a gravel lot up here, and the grass is coming back through. I'm going to have to spray again, which is a bummer. But the grass is coming back through. We've got a gravel lot up here, and I'm going to pull Big T. Big T is way up there on the top of the hill, and the ABI water trailer is up there too. So we're moving the cows around the farm just a little bit, and I got the water trailer full in case I need it. I keep it full all the time in case I need emergency fire suppression. It's not a fire trailer, but it will slow a fire down if the fields were to catch on fire or a barn were to catch on fire. So pretty cool. Keep the water trailer full for that reason. So we're gonna ride on up here or walk on up here, and let's show you where we're gonna be moving the cows before we move them. So this is about a 2-acre paddock right here, and the cows are gonna stay on here for about 2 days. We've got some decent grass in here. This is where I kind of made a sacrifice paddock this past winter, okay? We're unrolling hay bales all out on this pasture, and we've got a distinct line between this pasture and that pasture. You can see right there. They'll be over here for, again, 2 or maybe 3 days. Then we'll open this up. We won't back fence it, and we'll let them go back down to the waterer, which is right down there, and we'll let them graze this paddock. Then we'll move them over to the next paddock, which contains the handling system, the cattle handling system, and that's when we're gonna run them through the cattle handling equipment. We're gonna go ahead and do our ear tags and everything. It's a little bit wet right now, so I don't wanna get them in there, but I've got to train them to go in and out of that pen that's over there. We'll get the tractor, we'll ride over and look at the cattle handling equipment real quick. That's a weeping willow tree, guys. Anywhere I had a wet spot, anywhere the tractor might mire up on the farm, I put a weeping willow tree in that wet spot. Weeping willows love wet spots like that, and tractors don't. So in order to keep myself from sinking up in the mud, I put a weeping willow tree there, and it pulls all the moisture out of the ground. Awesome. This is our Lorentz solar well pump system right here. This sensor right here senses how much light is being put to the solar panels, and therefore keeps your pump from turning on when there's a low voltage situation. So it's cloudy, obviously it's overcast today, and the well pump is not running. We are gonna run 4 more solar panels right here, so it will require much less light. So stay tuned for a future video. We are gonna have to set up a water tank system somewhere here on the farm to store water. In other words, if we have 2 to 3 days of cloudy weather and this pump is not functioning to its fullest capacity, we may need to have water stored up. So we're working on that, and how we do it right now is with the ABI water tank. This thing is awesome. Let's fire up Big T and take this thing out of the pasture so we can get the cows in. Oh boy. There we go. Contact. Air conditioning. All right, so we got Big T fired up here. What we're gonna be doing, Big T is a geared tractor, okay? So it's not a hydrostatic tractor. What we're gonna be doing is basically just pulling this water trailer back down the hill. Now, I did have to use the water trailer the other day. We live on a gravel road, and oftentimes when the state comes and scrapes our state maintained gravel road, we get into a bit of a pickle with dust. Bad dust, like really bad dust. So the ABI water tank has a spray rig on the back of it that I can use to cut down on the dust. Probably caught that live stream over on Facebook. I did that the other day. Now in theory, the water tank is awesome for moving water around for taking care of your cattle. In practice, it's really heavy, so you got to think about this. There's 1,000 gallons of water in that. I don't know how much water weighs per gallon, but I think it's somewhere around the 2.2 pound mark, so there's a lot of weight in here. And if you've got wet pastures or wet fields, this thing can mire up, so you've got to really do some pre-planning when it comes to keeping your critters watered and taken care of with a water trailer like this. What we're going to do, we're going to pull it right here, where if we want to, we can put a stock tank right here and keep it topped off also. So giving the cows many opportunities to drink water wherever they can drink. We want to keep a waterer within 800 feet of the cows so that they go individually to the water tank and drink instead of as a mob to the water tank and drink. So a 100 gallon or 150 gallon stock tank with 30 cows is going to run out of water if they mob drink. That's not what we want. Let's get down there and move the cows. So this is the pen that we built out of temporary corral panels for our cows to run through our handling equipment. This is a Tartar sheeted sweep system right here, running into a Cattle Master Series 5, I believe, or Series 6, Cattle Master Series 6 squeeze chute. So we'll be able to bring our cows in, tag their ears, check them out, make sure they're healthy and good to go, and then we'll release them and they'll come right through this alleyway and back out into the pasture. The way we'll get them in here is we'll go ahead and put just a little bit of sweet feed in here. So about a gallon scoop of sweet feed will entice the cows to all come in here. We'll close the gate behind them and we'll run them through the equipment. Awesome. That'll be in a future video. Future video project, we're gonna take that trailer right there and we're gonna make a mobile chicken coop, an egg mobile to follow around behind the cows to scrape through their manure. A lot of folks have been suggesting that instead of taking the drag harrow out and dragging the fields, using chickens to do that. Well, there's a little bit of science behind it, and we'll talk about that in a future video as we build this thing up to a mobile chicken coop and move it around the farm. Awesome. This is the alleyway that we'll be moving the cows up into this pasture. I've got this gate open, I've got power on that electric fence wire that I showed you, and this is poly braid wire. All this fencing materials comes from Farm Fence Solutions out of Worthington, Indiana. These are step-in posts, pigtail step-in posts. We get the shorter pigtail step-in post, that's the pigtail, and that's the step-in. This is a high-quality strain right step-in post, really awesome. And man, sometimes the ground is really hard in the summertime especially. So if you're mob grazing and moving your cows, I'm trying to do this all with one hand. If you're mob grazing and you're moving your cows on a daily basis and you've got to put these step-in posts in, and this is how they work. I'll just step one in real quick. Even though it rained all night last night, the ground's still a little bit hard, but that's a step-in post. If you get the cheap ones, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna be breaking stuff. So get the good ones, buy the right thing, and buy it once instead of buying old cheap, crappy plastic ones that break after, I don't know, 2 years. These things are a lifetime post, man. Awesome. The cows are already lined up at the gate down here to get it moved. You can see the girls are trained, man. They know. They're like, yeah, we're moving. I saw Josh set up the fence. Guys, don't forget to stick around. We're gonna see what went bump in the night down here, but first I gotta take this fencing down. This fencing goes up in 15 minutes, and we probably have about 150 yard stretch right here. It's about 15 feet wide. This is my yard, okay? These cows follow me like cats. Once they get used to moving like this, they will follow you anywhere, and you don't have to bring a bucket of feed or anything like that. They'll just follow you. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and open the gate down here. We've got all the donkeys down here. We've got all the cows bunched up at the gate, so that means it's time to rock and roll. Let's get them up here. Woo! That's my cow song. Woo! Come on, girls. Woo! Come on, ladies. Woo! 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 Good girls. Good girls. Woo! When your animals trust you like this, it's really something special, guys. They're like big dogs. Like I said, it's really something special when your animals can trust you like this, and watching them go on a new paddock is really awesome too. They just get excited, especially the young ones. They get to bucking and kicking. Big shout out to my friends over at True Work, guys. If you don't know about True Work clothing, there's a link down the video description to every video. This stuff is awesome. It just wears so light and nice. Like the shorts that I have on right now, pants that I wear in the wintertime now are all True Work because they just hold up. When you get a hole in your pants, it doesn't spread, which is super, super cool. So got one cow here. It's got a little bit of a limp. She's got some toe issues, so we may have to do a little toe trimmage on her. I can see her favoring that right front foot right here. So yeah, little girl, we got to get you treated. You can see her got a little bit of a limp right there. So she's bringing up the rear and the donkey's bringing up the very rear. Come on, donkey. Come on, you can do it. Don't push a donkey, it won't go anywhere. I gotta make it follow me. Come on, donkey. Isn't that a crazy sound? All you hear is cows just mowing down on some grass. Just like, yeah, rah, rah, rah. They always go straight to the point where they think they can get out. If you notice, they went right to here. That's right where I'll open the gate and let them into the next paddock. So nature of cows, man. They're gonna go test the fence like little velociraptors. Successful move. Let's go down here and see what the heck fell in the middle of the night. I think it's a big old poplar tree. I've got several big old poplar trees where we built a pond, and they're kind of sitting in the water. Couldn't harvest them for the sawmill prior to building that pond, so they're all gonna fall into the pond or over somewhere, but that'll make good fish habitat. We'll take you down and show you our pond also. There's no power on this fence, but these cows stay away from it. So it's a perceived psychological barrier that that this poly line provides for you. So oftentimes I can run lines like this temporarily and not even have to worry about any kind of power. The cows might get a little curious, they might touch it a little bit, and that's okay, but they're not gonna go busting through it. Once you get cows trained to this poly line, this poly braid, they will not mess with it at all. So this is all just hooked up temporarily with these critters right here, and or I just tied a knot up top right there. So just tied it off and pulled the string down. You could do it with a piece of string, totally. That doesn't look too bad. Well, looks like the top broke out of that poplar and fell right here. That's not too bad at all. We'll get the little electric chainsaw and clean that mess up right there. We're down here at our pond. If you guys caught the video last week, we fixed this area up right here. It was a mess. It was some big old holes right here. All these, this is a triple poplar right here. Hopefully the wind blows them that way and not back onto the fence. There's another one over there that's no danger to the fence. This guy right here, you can see how tall that is. It's about an 80-foot tree, maybe 60 to 80 feet. That will undoubtedly reach the fence right here and could potentially cause us some serious problems. So it just barely got into the top of the fence. You can see it dented it down just a little bit. This tornado wire kicks butt. It will take a lick for sure. Now, this is our pond. This pond was built about 2 years ago. You can see I did a little video, or it's coming up. I think I did a little video last weekend about pond dye. So putting pond dye in your pond. And I can already see some awesome improvements over the pond from a week ago when I put this dye in there. It's taken away all that old slime that's on the outside of the pond. So algae, basically algae that's robbing oxygen and putting carbon dioxide in your pond. You don't want that. So pond dye is the secret to keeping clear water in your pond. Awesome. Now, why do we have these rocks here on the pond dam? You can see rocks running all the way across. This is called riprap rock, and that rock helps to prevent erosion. In other words, it helps prevent the dam from falling off into the water. So that's what we've got right here is riprap. And you can get that at your local rock quarry. Whoever brings rock out or gravel out to your house, research it a little bit. You can get it. It's not very expensive, and it's a good insurance policy to keep your pond dam from eroding. This is the Steel MSA 140C battery powered chainsaw. It does an awesome job, and I'm hauling it in the saw haul over here. The saw haul is a chainsaw carrier for basically anything. Pickup truck, tractor, ATV, UTV, whatever. This little critter does a good job. There are more powerful saws out there. This is kind of the homeowner grade or betweener grade of electric chainsaw, but I'm happy with it. Let's get busy. Great little saw. Would I want to cut a pickup truck load of wood with it? No. It's good for doing just what I did right there, clearing brush. Let's run back up, check on the cows, make sure they're doing okay, and we'll talk to you a little bit about the grazing system, the grazing model that we're using here on the Stoney Ridge farm. It's working. It's awesome. Look, no fertilizer for 5 years. 5 years, no fertilizer. We unrolled 60 bales of hay out here. A lot of butt fertilizer came out. Let's talk about our intensive grazing program here on the farm. So there's a lot to be said and a lot to be learned from an intensive grazing program on any piece of property. As you can see, we moved the cows up from about a 3-acre pasture up here to another just about 3-acre pasture. We're gonna leave the cows on here for 2 days or so. Probably could leave them on for a little bit longer and make sure that they graze all of this. What I really should be doing is moving these 30 cows onto a 1-acre or smaller paddock. But water dictates what we can do. So we have to have water for the cows. So what we're gonna be doing in the future, we'll be trenching. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and come on back. We'll be trenching, we'll be running our water system off of that solar well up there, and we're gonna be putting in mirror fount frost-free waterers. And we'll be able to run off of those waterers and put like pizza-shaped or pie-shaped paddocks for our cows to graze. So they'll come to the water in the center area. We want to keep our waterer below 800 feet from the cows so that they don't mob drink, they only mob graze. In other words, all the cows don't go to the water at the same time. If you can keep the water tank or water supply in under 800 feet from the cows at all times. So we'll put a waterer out here, we'll put one on the top of the hill. We'll probably have 4 different mirror fount waterers over here on this side of the farm. And we'll split it all up into different paddocks where we can move our cows intensively grazing every single day, follow behind them with the chickens eventually, and have a holistic farm. That's what it's all about, guys. So Man, I hope you enjoyed this little video. This is what's going on today on the farm. We did have a big storm last night. I heard a lot of things go bump in the night, so I'm gonna have to do a perimeter ride. It's about a 3.5 to 4 mile ride on the four-wheeler all the way around the property here, all the way around all the fence lines. We'll check everything, make sure nothing's on the fence, and if it is, we'll take that little steel saw and get it off. That's just what it is, man. That's what's going on here today on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Got a cool video coming soon. I'm getting ready to start on that too. I took an old cedar log out of the woods and I'm sanding it down and making a beautiful, beautiful mailbox post out of it. So hope you guys will come on back and see me in the next video. All right?
We'll come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
Isn't that cool? See you next time. They're like big dogs. It's really something special when your animals can trust you like this.